Hi, I'm Ona Gritz, and this is the newest issue of 9 Mile Magazine, edited by Steve Kusisto and Bob Hers. And I'm lucky to have some poems included here, and I'm going to read a few to you now. This is Circa 1985. I went to the gruff old men of Astor Place with their unwashed combs and indecipherable accents to get my uncooperative waves lopped off. When I left, what I had was boyish, a showcase for drop earrings bought on the street for $5. This was the decade of black lace blouses, ridiculously baggy pants, yoga class in Alphabet City, breakfast and afterthought in Washington Square. Dramas played out in late-night phone calls, the curling cord patterning my wrist. But really I was alone. A girl jealous at the sight of Auburn falling from a cliff like root beer in a Tom Waits song, or my roommate's artful bangs. I studied hair with hate beams of longing, because it was love I wanted. To be discovered, finally held. It was what we all wanted, I suspected, though none of us were willing to say it. Such a cliché. A poem ending in a rhymed couplet, a feather cut generously sprayed. Watching my sister sneak a cigarette. Don't tell, she says, striking a match to what looks to me like a fresh piece of chalk. The bathroom clouds and the smell is bad, but in a good way, like she is, my sister who knows where to get such things. Do rings, I command, and she sends bracelets of smoke chasing each other skyward. Ona's an angel, she tells people with a twisted smile. She's a good girl. It's true. My goodness is like clean water inside me, or cold milk. Still, I like the way her secrets burn beside it, dirtying it just a little. I like the dusky scent that lingers in our hair. This is in a campus library, which was written with thanks to the poet Maxine Kumin for her poem, Making the Jam Without You. There were blackberries on boil in the book I held that afternoon. A woman alone in a fragrant kitchen. And beyond that house, horses in tight stalls, though I knew this from a different poem. In this one, a girl my age slept in another time zone, far from the rituals of sweetening, boxes of pectin, mason jars washed and waiting in rows. Rereading now, I live in the skin of the mother, the volume of silence in my child's absence overwhelming the room. But at 19, I was still a daughter, fresh from Queens, where the jam we ate was store-bought on sliced white. Yet crouched in those quiet stacks, I suddenly felt homesick as I tasted the word brambles on my tongue. I'll read one more. My menstrual cycle speaks. My first lesson for you, with my sometimes sudden splat, sometimes thick, slow syrup, was to be prepared, just like they taught in Girl Scouts, though I also taught you, you won't always be that good buttoned-up girl. I showed you that blood doesn't only live on the scale between 911 and a Band-Aid. It's also a mere nuisance, a simple human female fact. As for rage and deep sorrow, occasionally they're just moods. Remember that long ago winter evening on Bleecker? You gazed out a pizza shop window and thought, suddenly desolate, I have no one. When you realized you were due to bleed, the grief lifted as though someone pulled it by a marionette string. That was me. I taught you a new way to read a calendar, put you in cahoots with the moon. Once I said, yes, there is a baby, and many times before and since I told you no, none. Whether you met this news with relief or heartache was not my purview, though I might have had a hand on the volume controls. These days I'm in charge of nothing but the thermostat, which I play with like a toddler given free rein in an elevator. You might want to peel off that sweater. Up we go. Again, this is from the newest issue of 9 Mile Magazine. It's their anthology issue. So each poet included here, the wonderful writers included here, all get as many as 15 pages of poems, including a person who's about to walk in my door, my husband Daniel Simpson. Enjoy.